How fearful were you leading up to the election that it wouldn't go into the new timeline?
It was so weird because all the experts said it was 50-50, razor sharp, it's this tiny little, thing, 80,000 votes in 8 counties. And, and then number one, then it wasn't, which means we can take all those experts and just dismiss them forever going forward because they clearly have no clue. So it's another set of people we don't have to listen to. But I had this really interesting conversation that kept nagging at me with a senior Democrat who's on his way out of politics, and he said in the summer, I said, how certain is, or what's your view? And this person said Trump's going to win with 100% certainty.
Really?
This is a Democrat, and from a sort of purple state, right? So not New York or California, but like a state with sort of maybe
Arizona,
broader cross section of people. And this person basically said, look, all you have to do is fly anywhere in the country into any purple place and go into a second or third tier, size city and take an Uber for 30 minutes, land at the airport, take an Uber, drive around for 30 minutes, come back and just ask the driver, like, how's it going and who are they voting for? And basically 100% of the time, the answer is going to be Trump because people were just like completely fed up. They were just completely fed up. And then there was the, Kamala enthusiasm, which this person said, the Kamala enthusiasm is like highly focused in New York and California, which don't matter from an electoral standpoint. Right, so they're not going to decide anything.
But matters huge when it comes to media.
Oh, sure, of course. But that's the thing, the self-reinforcing nature of the bubble. And this is what's actually so interesting about these media bubbles is like the people in these media bubbles are not breaking out. Like it's like they're getting deeper into the sort of collective psychosis that they indulge in. And part of it was getting excited about a candidate for which there was very little popular support for once you got outside of these, heavily blue states. Yeah. And so it's in a lot of ways it's the most, obvious explanation in the world, which is just people just fundamentally did not like the direction the country was going in and they were just fed up with it.
There's also this very bizarre arrogance of people that were certain that Kamala Harris was going to win. Like I'm sure you've seen the viral video of this lady who's a political analyst who talks about going to the liquor store and buying a bottle of champagne.
Oh, right. I saw that. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want to show it. The poor lady. She's probably living in hell right now. Yeah. But
on Blue Sky.
She's probably on Blue Sky. She might be on X. Well, she was on X. I think she deleted her profile. Yes. But the poor lady, I mean, But she was being very arrogant, and she laughed and mocked this man and said, you do realize you wasted your vote, right?
That's right.
And she laughed, which makes her hard to feel sorry for.
That's right.
It's like you were ready to mock this man.
Yes.
But in her eyes, it was all about reproductive freedom. Yeah. And she thought that was under attack under the Trump administration and that women were going to stand up and they're going to stop that because in her echo chamber, that was the case. Yeah. Everybody was they all agreed. We're universally on board with this idea that Trump is evil. We got to get rid of him, and women are going to vote, and this is going to be fun. But who are you hanging out with, lady? Yeah. You could hang out with a bunch of people that think baseball's awesome, and then you run into someone from another country like, what the fuck is baseball? Like you got to realize there's a lot of people out there.
Yeah. And people really don't like being talked down to.
They really don't. And they don't like you mocking the fact that, first of all, nobody wasted their vote. Right. Like, that's not how it goes. Right. Like, you don't waste your vote if you vote different and the other side wins. That's not how the other side won. That's just all it is. Right. Like, wasting the vote is a crazy way to look at it. Like, because I think also people look at things like tribal games. In Texas is a huge football state, and people love football, and it's always we this, we that. When UT plays South Carolina, we this, we that. It's like people love to be a part of a team that's winning. Right. Yep. And they apply that, especially if they're not into sports, to other things. I think it's just a war mentality. It's a tribal war mentality that's been sort of subverted in the human mind and applied to other things. It could be like Microsoft versus Apple. Right. It could be Android versus Apple, iOS. It's weird how people get so tribal and then connect their own personal identity to other people agreeing with these ideas that they believe.
Yeah.